Hello and welcome to this Kickstarter for the practical guide to becoming a great player. My name is Guy and I run a YouTube channel called How to Be a Great GM, which has given me insight into not only what makes a great GM, but also what makes a great player. So why this book? What's in this book? Why did I want to write this book? As far as I'm concerned, over the last decade, I've been running games at a professional level and being able to run with players from all over the world, which has been an absolute pleasure. And I've noticed that there are three aspects which continuously come up as areas for players to focus on and to develop in. And some folks might not be aware of those three different areas, and some might kind of be aware of them but not know how to implement them. And I constantly get similar feedback from folks on different aspects of, oh, I don't know how to do this, I don't know what to do there, I'm confused, I'm lost, etc., etc. So I've put all of the knowledge that I've gathered and gained into this single book. It's 250 plus pages. And so what are the three aspects? Well, basically, the first aspect is understanding yourself as a player. What is it that you're hoping to get out of your games? What is it that makes you have fun whilst playing your game? Because we know that there's lots of different approaches to playing this game. Understanding fundamentally what you like allows you to identify why, if you've had a bad session, instead of going, oh, it was my fault, I'm just a bad player, I don't understand. Well, stepping back and going, well, I like these kind of games and this is not what I was getting. Or this is the kind of thing that I'm expecting. This is not what I was getting. That's why I didn't enjoy the session. It's not because of a mistake that you've made. Or sometimes it is a case of going, I made that mistake. I need to fix that. But you need that perspective. So the first part of the book is looking at that. What is it about yourself, about you and the game that you're playing? What do you like about it? Understanding that is really important. And of course, it's about developing your creative skills. Doing things like improv, coming up with dialogue for your character, making a decision for your character. A lot of that will stem from yourself and development that you can do for yourself, which of course is in the book. This makes it easier. So even if you've been role-playing for decades, you might still go, yeah, well, you know, dialogue, character dialogue, it's always... yeah, it's going to be a bit tricky. Well, not anymore, not if you use the methods that I propose in this book. Secondly, you need to work on your character. Now, this goes without saying, but a great player doesn't have to have a great character. As a matter of fact, the character could be flawed, could be faulted, and that will make them an even better character if they are working with a great player. And a great bad player can take a great character and ruin them and make them lifeless and forgettable, even though they are perfectly built. The whole book is system agnostic, so it's designed to work with Dungeons & Dragons, Call of Cthulhu, Star Trek, Discworld, whatever role-playing system you're using. The advice that I'm putting into this book, the practical exercises that I'm putting into this book are applicable across the board. So we look at how do you build a character? What are the questions you should be able to answer about your character before starting your sessions? And what are some of the questions and some of the things that you shouldn't be answering before you start playing? How much do you need to develop? How little do you need to develop? Should you be developing as you go along? Yes, 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 and yes are answers that are in this book. We are talking about how to do this in a structured way, but also in an organic way, so that it just grows. But if it doesn't have a structure to grow within, it's just going to be a mess. And so that's what we're doing, is we're putting structure in. Thirdly, we then look at the social aspect of it. This is a social game. Unless you are playing solo RPGs, you are playing with other people. You are working with other people, and that requires us to understand social dynamics. Again, to look at, hang on a second, I like my games to be like this, but they like their games to be like that. We're never going to have a great game together. It's always going to collapse. I don't know how to do this, or I don't know how to do that in that social space, because it's very different. We're looking for different things, understanding how that social dynamic works and what your responsibilities are towards the rest of your players, and hopefully them understanding it towards you, makes for the game experience to be even better. So the whole book is designed to step by step break down each of the different areas into manageable bits. And like all of my previous books, there are exercises called encounters, and each encounter gives you a prompt and says, hey, answer this prompt, write about this prompt. Have you thought about this? What are your thoughts on this? If you go through the whole book and you work through all of the encounters, by the time you end the book, not only do you have an amazing character that you've built, but you've been on a wonderful journey of understanding, and so you've picked up what the book has said. This is not a book that you're just going to read from cover to cover and go, okay, great, I have the knowledge. This is a book where you're going to go, okay, cool, I need to practice that. I need to implement that. How do I practice it? Here's the process. And of course, we put all of those exercises, all those encounters into a PDF, which goes with the book free of charge, of course, so that you can have the PDF open and you can be answering the PDF whilst you're reading the hard copy book. I mean, that's just how it works. Now, from a company perspective, this is our 6th or 7th book that we've done. So we've done a lot of books. We've got the distribution in place. We've got the printers in place. So we don't really have a lot of obstacles to achieving this Kickstarter. I've finished writing the book at the time of recording this video, which is before the Kickstarter launches. The editor is already going through it, making changes to the grammar and that sort of thing. And yes, we've got some cool stretch goals, which I'm very excited about because, well, here's a little hint. The stretch goals, I'm reaching out to all of my friends in the role-playing community and saying, hey, you guys are recognized internationally as some of the top GMs. What do you think makes a great player? And I'm doing interviews with them, and each stretch goal we unlock gets more interviews added to the book. The book is also full of random tables, generating stuff, helping guide stuff, prompting stuff, backstories, name generators, how to come up with a name. All of the useful stuff that you would want is in this book. It is as practical a guide as I could possibly make it. And I think our track record in the past proves that these books are really helpful to folks. We literally have people writing in saying, well, my whole experience completely changed as a GM because I read this book on Practical Guide to Becoming a Great GM. I'm hoping that the Guide to Becoming a Great Player is going to do exactly the same thing for you. So why would you want to back the Kickstarter now, and why not wait until the book is released? Well, to be perfectly frank with you, Kickstarter is where it's at its cheapest. The shipping is supplemented and augmented, and we're doing bulk shipping and all that kind of stuff, so your shipping costs come down, and there's special Kickstarter prices as well. But as I have always said, financial security before role-playing, so make sure that you can afford it. The book should be finished by next year sometime, printing and shipping. Well, the printing we can control, the shipping not so much. Customs takes time, and how long does it take? It takes as long as the customs officer decides. Now, we will be doing a whole bunch of things during the month of the Kickstarter, during November. We're going to be doing live streams, so watch the comment section of this Kickstarter for when those live streams are. We're going to be building characters and looking at role-playing and looking at players and playing in terms of using the book, so you can see practical demonstrations of the book's sort of teachings in process, if you will. And we've decided that November is player month, so all of the videos on our YouTube channel, How to Be a Great GM, will be focused around that. Anyway, I just want to say a massive thank you to you for watching this video all the way through to the end, and for even checking out this Kickstarter. And all I can say is that I hope that we get to our goals, we get those stretch goals unlocked, and that ultimately we end up making this book and it is of value to you. So, again, a big thank you from me and the team. It's the same team that have been doing these books for the last 6 years. We really enjoy doing these things. We have a lot of fun. And I hope to see you chatting away in the comments, making your ideas, voting on the polls that we'll be running. Until next time, I wish you and yours the happiest of playing.